I'm here to present to you our topic is on proposition of declaring a university as a birth sanctuary. And by doing so, we are able to develop a living natural history for conservation education. I'm also presenting on behalf of my co-researchers and co-authors. Of course, we all know that, as we have discussed this morning, that the Philippines is, of course, one of the mega diverse countries in the world, but at the same time, it's also a biodiversity hotspot. So I think there's no need to elaborate on why this is so, but I think the most the pressing concern would be we are very rich, but we are also vulnerable as far as vulnerability of our diversity is concerned. We're also familiar with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which is by 2030 we hope that our country or globally we will be able to achieve most the 17 sustainable development goals. And if we're going to look at the different goals set by the United Nations, karamihan sa kanila related din sa environment. Let's say you have sustainable cities and communities, you have life on land, life below water, climate action, and of course no poverty and zero hunger. So it only means na malaki talaga yung tie or connection ng sustainability as far as environmental conservation or preservation is concerned. Pero sabi nga ng isang Senegalese conservationist, in the end, we will only conserve what we love. And we will love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we are taught. So, mahalaga dun yung education. So ibig sabihin nun, education plays a very big role as far as meeting or making sure that we were able to conserve our mega diverse biodiversity, but at the same time, reaching in sustainable development. Unfortunately, when we discuss biology in class, kalimitan, kilala nila ito, di ba? Ito yung mga kilala nila. Unfortunately, giraffe, elephant, and kangaroo are not found in the Philippines. Pero pag diniscuss natin, when we put forward pictures or ideas about endemic species or native species in the Philippines, katulad nito, hindi nila kilala yan. Di po ba? Mga biology teachers. Madaling ma-identify yan ito mga to, ma-identify ng ating mga estudyante. But ito, hindi nila ma-identify yan. Pero ito yung mga found in the Philippines. And sa education sector, malaking impact nun as far as conservation is concerned. Because para natin i-conserve yung mga bagay na hindi natin naiintindihan. At pasukan natin ng kaisipang millennial, sanay na sila dun sa social media. No? So, they get information from the web. So, kung wala silang, they're mostly detached from real life situations because of the virtual reality. So, ang problem natin dun is how do we utilize yung teaching natural history vis-a-vis the present conditions of how we teach biodiversity to our students. At the same time, yung learning competencies ng ating mga estudyante. So, saan papasok to? Where would the academic institution come in? And of course, susunod natin question, if you're going to do natural history, we're going to teach natural history as a form of environmental education. Can it save the world? Kaya ba niyang sagutin yung mga usual problems natin sa mundo? But sabi nga ng isang writer, it depends. No? It would really depend on up to what extent are we going to put forward environmental education in our schools. Okay. So, in our university, we are forwarding what we call the philosophy of pedagogy in place. When we talk about pedagogy, it talks about the tools for teaching, yung methods of teaching. Na aside from the academic curriculum, these are the subjects taken by or the courses taken by the students, there's also what we call a hidden curriculum, yung nakatagong curriculum. And this hidden curriculum are the physical, are the practices and the physical plan of the school. Kung let's say, if we're going to teach about biodiversity conservation inside the classroom, definitely when the students go out of the classroom, the university or the school should be able to practice what it preaches. So that's why our university, DLSUD, this is in Dasmariñas, Cavite. The city of Dasmariñas is considered to be a fast-growing urbanized community. These are some of the pictures that you can, or some of the things that you can see in the university. We have about, it's a 27-hectare campus located in a very highly urbanized setting with 16,000 students and more than 1,300 trees. And I can say that it's one of the very few remaining forest or tree patches in the urban area. So how do we utilize that campus or those biodiversity found in the campus to be able to put forward conservation education? So this is the setting. It's a 27-hectare campus with about 16,000 students. So we found out that there are some birds. Now, may avifaunal diversity in university. So what we did was to conduct a study, an initial study. What are these birds? And we did a walkthrough observation, both visual and oral. And then we noted the following information. And then we did also some photo documentation. And using Smart and Cyber Tracker, we were able to utilize kung nasaan sila. No? And nagkaroon kami ng basic database about them. So this is what we found out. We found out that there are 34 species. No? Initially, there are 34 species of birds in the university. And 8 of them are endemic. And 1 of them is in the IUCN list of threatened species. So these are some of those species, the 34 species. At marami sa kanila ay rin ang endemic. So having an endemic resident birds in an urbanized setting in a university, of course, it compels us, no, to make sure that they are preserved. Their habitat will be preserved. So based on distribution, out of the 34 birds, 8 are endemic, 4 are migrants, and 22 are, we usually say they are resident. And we identify which of these places usually saan sila nagne-nest. Okay, this is very important because as far as campus development plans for the university, kailangan they should be considered. So these are some of the birds that we have documented. So we have the oriole, we have the zebra dove, we have a striated heron, a brown shrike. We have a kingfisher, you have the Java sparrow. We even have the tikling, where the dance tikling originated. Yellowish white eye and the flower pecker. So, knowing this, we put forward with the DNR for the university to be recognized as a local bird sanctuary. So right now, we are our request is with the Technical Services Division of the DNR. And hopefully, we can be recognized as a local bird sanctuary. Ano yung dahilan doon? Why do we need to do that? First, to be able to preserve the campus, yung development plans ng campus. Second is, if ever there would be campus development in the future, ma-maintain siya. Because if we really want to preserve the birds, we need to preserve their habitat. So by identifying kung nasaan sila, we will be able to make sure na for every campus development plans ay napipreserve yung kanilang habitat. We all know that sa institution, di ba, usually nagbabago yan. Pag minsan nagbabago ang presidente, nagbabago din yung kanyang plan. So, iba rin yung kanyang vision. So, by making sure that there is a recognition that these areas in the campus or these patches in the campus should be preserved, napo-consider siya for any campus development. We also doing some collaboration with the city government for an ecotourism potential, in which we can maximize our students who are taking up or majoring in tourism. They can be utilized or integrated in the curriculum. And of course, integration to the curriculum with our biology majors. And of course, contribute to the general conservation of biodiversity, especially in the birds found in Luzon. So, with that, maraming salamat at magandang